In a quiet town where everything seemed calm, mysterious disappearances began to occur. Residents were scared and locked themselves in their homes, trying to find an explanation for what was happening. However, the more they tried to solve the mystery, the closer something evil lurking in the shadows came. A group of researchers, intrigued by a series of mysterious disappearances, decided to take up the investigation. They heard rumors about an ancient grave hidden in the depths of a gloomy forest, which the locals avoided, and found their next destination in this. Not knowing what awaits them ahead, the researchers went on a dangerous expedition. The road to the grave turned out to be long and confusing, full of mysterious signs and ominous whispers that were carried on the wind. At the end of a long journey, the researchers reached a place shrouded in a mystical aura. In front of them towered an ancient grave, covered with moss and soaked with the smell of antiquity. Desperate researchers decided to take a chance and open it, hoping to find answers to the mystery of the disappearances that troubled their city. At the moment when the researchers approached the ancient grave, they were seized with a feeling of genuine fear. The wind suddenly stopped, and the air became thick and unpleasant. They looked at each other, not sure if they should continue. But their curiosity and thirst for truth were stronger. Carefully, the researchers began to excavate. The ground was hard, and every blow with the shovel sent trembling vibrations through their hands. The minutes seemed like hours, and when the first stone of the grave was finally discovered, the tension reached its limit. They slowly dismantled the layers of mud and clay, revealing more and more ancient stone blocks. Each newly discovered symbol seemed like a riddle revived from the past. The hearts of the researchers were beating faster, because they were getting closer to solving the long-awaited mystery. Finally, with a last effort, the last stone of the grave was shifted, and the view of the ancient tomb opened before the researchers. The air became even heavier, as if the very presence of the dead filled the room. Their lanterns lit up dark corners, reviving ghostly shadows. As they entered the tomb, the atmosphere became more and more ominous. Sculptures carved on the walls depicted grim scenes of death and suffering. Small shards were spread out on the floor, testifying to bygone times. The researchers continued to penetrate deeper into the tomb until they reached the central sanctuary. In front of them was a view of an ancient altar covered with bloody footprints. As their gazes swept down, they saw a sinister figure chained to the wall. Enchanted researchers could not take their eyes off the sinister figure trapped in stone fetters. Her face was disfigured and distorted by merciless pain. The bloody wounds on her body testified to the torment she had to go through. Like a whisper from the grave, the figure began to tell its story. She revealed horrific details about how the ancient inhabitants of the city, attracted by the thirst for power and wealth, plunged themselves into darkness and enslavement through an ancient ritual. They turned to powerful forces, hoping to receive eternal life and unlimited power. However, their greed and thirst for power led to terrible consequences. The ritual turned out to be not only a curse, but also a way to connect their lives with the gloomy tomb. They became eternal guardians, doomed to sleepless nights and endless pain. The figure continued to talk about how the cursed inhabitants of the city became a source of evil, feeding on the energy and vitality of others. In search of redemption and liberation from this curse, they tried to steal the lives of innocent people in order to get instant relief from their eternal torment. The researchers realized in horror that the ancient grave carries not only a history of suffering, but also a living threat to the residents of the city. The cursed inhabitants of the city still longed for life and continued to sow destruction and death. Now the researchers faced a difficult task, to break the connection between the curse and the city. They understood that if they did not find a way to break this connection, the curse would continue to devour the lives and souls of people, turning the city into a field of death. With determination in their eyes, the researchers began to study the ancient texts and symbols that decorated the walls of the tomb. They hoped to discover the key to liberation and end the curse forever. Hours merged into days, and days into weeks, when researchers plunged into the depths of knowledge and darkness. Eventually, they discovered a recipe for a powerful antidote that could neutralize the curse. The researchers took up the ritual, bearing on their shoulders the responsibility for saving the city and getting rid of eternal evil. They collected rare ingredients and performed complex rituals following the instructions described in ancient texts. When the magic ritual was completed, the ancient grave was enveloped in a bright glow. The air became clear, and the tomb lost its gloomy aura. The cursed inhabitants of the city, with whom this grave was connected, disappeared, scattered in the dust. The city, freed from centuries of curse, finally breathed freely. Residents came out of their homes and greeted the researchers with joy, who brought them salvation. The researchers, excited by their successes, left the grave, taking with them the knowledge and experience that can help prevent similar disasters in the future. However, they knew that behind every curse there could be a new danger, and that only mindfulness and vigilance would help them keep the peace.